Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the 608 Soundcheck. Today, my guest is Sam Gauthier. Sam is a La Crosse area musician that has a deep connection to music and sound in many different areas. She hosts events at the Art House here in La Crosse, like Listening Room and Soundscape, as well as offering voice and instrument lessons. Today we talk about how music affects us all on a deeper level. We dig into why we need to love ourselves all throughout our creative journey, and we dig into some of what Sam is offering for creatives here at the Art House. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the 608 Soundcheck. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going so well.
Thank you so much for joining me today on the 608 Soundcheck. Yes. This has been a long time coming.
It has.
Yeah.
When was the first time that we mentioned this podcast? When did you start it?
Spring of 2025.
Nice. And here we are, winter of 2025. Way to round out the year.
Yes.
Very
yes.
Nice.
So the way I always like to start these is because I'm in a mobile setup and I go wherever. Where are we? What is this?
This is the music studio at the Art House in La Crosse. So it's my little dojo where I give some vocal lessons and songwriting and music lessons in general, and eventually sound healing too, which will be very, very fun and exciting.
Ooh.
Yes, but the Art House in its entirety, this is just one little pocket of it. There's also the Art Lounge where there's a thrift store of art supplies, so you can make some stuff there, and that we do like workshops and stuff. And then we also have a dance studio in the front of the building, which is I&E Dance, and all sorts of fun dance classes with that. So I call it the holy trinity of dance, art, and music all under one roof. So it's so cool.
It really is a cool place. There's not a lot of places like this, I would say. So yeah, definitely if you haven't checked out Art House on the north side of La Crosse, come check it out. It's a great space to do creative things or even just come in and do homework, study, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really cool in here. I've been in here a couple of times, but getting to sit in here and see it live and in person, very, very cool.
It's changed so much over the year that it's been open. I mean, you should have seen it when we first came in here. There's a renovation video on the Instagram of Art House, and it was an old vintage store, so there was a bunch of, like there was a wall that we took out, and this room, the floors were like crazy dirty, and there was just stuff everywhere, and it's so cool to give it another life.
Yeah.
And,
it looks beautiful.
Well, thank you. I really like decorating, so this is a great place to practice that.
Well, let's talk about you. So the show is getting to know La Crosse area musicians and kind of the music scene. And a lot of that so far has been like bands or groups or things like that. You kind of have a lot of different things going on with music, not just sort of one size fits all. So can you go into maybe just explain, who are you? What do you do?
Okay. Long story. Let's go. So I started, we can even go as far as theater kid, but still like to be tucked in the back because I was always afraid of messing up my lines. So I was like, I'll just be a part of the experience, but I don't want to be like front and center at all. But then, years kind of went on, and my friend was in a band. It was this program called Appleton Rock School, which was basically, you've heard of
this?
Yes,
I have.
Appleton Rock School. So she was a part of that, and she played guitar in this band of kids, and it was really cool. I went to a show of hers at a bowling alley in Appleton, and I was like, wow, that does kind of look fun.
Yeah.
I kind of dig that. And I was talking to her, I'm like, Maddie, what if we started a little duo thing, and then our first song that we practiced was the Cup song from Pitch Perfect.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Yep. She played the cup and I sang, and we posted a video on Facebook, and and it was for the stars ever since then.
I love
that. So we started that when we were almost 16, and we had some really supportive we have really supportive parents that were trying to get us into shows around town. And we got into like bars and taverns, and we were playing some biker bars. We were playing, Wisconsin, the bar scene is, there's lots
Where
of places.
Where are some of the places
to go.
in particular? I lived in Appleton for a couple
that's
years,
right.
so I'm kind of interested.
Yeah. Okay. So
this might not apply to anybody else watching the pod, but I'm just for my own.
Yeah. Well, we talked about Gibson Music Hall.
Yep.
I didn't play there with my friend Maddie, but I started playing there as a solo musician. But we played like Home Burger Bar.
Oh, yeah.
Downtown.
Okay.
Yeah. I've played couple solo shows at Deja Vu.
Okay,
We've
yeah.
talked about that one
Yeah.
too. Not a whole lot like right downtown Appleton, but I played a lot in Green Bay. So Plank Road,
Okay.
Narrow Bridge, and then there's some other ones. Mr. Brews. Then up in Ripon, there was a vineyard.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, what was it called? Holy smokes, I can't remember. But then this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of these shows back home in a while. But Paradise North Distillery in Green Bay is a really cool place. Let me think. Oh man, they're all escaping me now. But it was a great experience. I think that I kind of got tired of the bar scene a little bit though. So I was like, yeah, it's fun playing covers and getting everybody all, entertained. I was playing mainly classic rock, like Guns N' Roses or Tom Petty, Stevie Nicks, kind of that genre of music, because I was basically playing for my parents' generation.
Okay,
So I was learning songs that they would recognize and know.
For sure.
But then I was like, I want to do more like Red Hot Chili Peppers and kind of like earlier 2000s stuff. And so I was just trying to like break out of that a little bit. And then I started writing my own stuff, and it's like, wow, this is fun, but also scary. Because it's, when you're playing cover songs, it's almost guaranteed that somebody will recognize the song. And then there's already that point of connection with people. Like, oh, okay, yes, this is familiar. I can enjoy this. But then it's like, when it's my song and I know that nobody really knows it except for maybe my parents.
Yeah.
Then it's like, if I share it and I don't get the reaction that I want, then it feels like I've kind of put my heart on my sleeve, and it was like,
Yeah.
it's scary.
It's scary. It is.
Yeah.
It's a deep thing to put yourself out there and be vulnerable with a creative anything, be it drawing or painting or anything. Really, it's tough.
Yeah, for sure. And so I was kind of like, all right, can I get rid of the safety net of like cover songs and do more original music? And then when I did Gibson Music Hall, where it was like the first time like people actually just sat and like watched me and listened, and they weren't like chatting and talking amongst themselves, like the first show that I wasn't just like background noise in a way, I was like, oh, this is so fun but scary at the same time. But I was able to be myself more. I was more interactive. I was having a conversation with them, talking more in between my songs and stuff like that, explaining them, because I felt they were like genuinely interested, because they were there.
Yeah.
Like they knew what they were signing up for, showing up to a space like that. And that's what inspired me to start the listening room here, is because not enough people get that chance to share themselves and share their voice in an environment that feels safe and supportive, because it is a vulnerable feeling, like we were just talking about, especially with original stuff. And yeah, I think it's been a really cool experience hosting the listening room here. And that was kind of the pull to La Crosse, and kind of leaving all of those shows and all those venues that I can definitely just like lean on for, making money and supporting myself. I was like, okay, what if I just started over in a new town and tried to build like a new relationship with music? And this is what that looks like so far, is being here and teaching lessons and learning about other people's voices, and more of a collaborative like space.
Yeah.
So it's really been, it's been an unexpected, lovely situation. So yeah.
Well, tell me more about the listening room, because that is, well, I shouldn't say, I was like, that is how I got to know you, but we kind of knew each other beforehand just through seeing you out playing in shows and stuff like that. But the listening room is where I feel like we really started like connecting to the point where we could get to in a situation like this. So tell me more about that, because the listening room is awesome and I love it so much.
Yeah, it is awesome. And I feel like we could connect more in that space because I was also able to hear you share your music and your story too. And so it's like, I get a chance to hear your creative expression, which is so nice. So yeah, the listening room is a free community event where you just come in and you can come in to just listen and support friends or family, or just kind of get some creative inspiration from people. Or you can come in and share. It's basically like an open mic, but it's just like not as scary as getting up on a stage with a mic with like a whole like room of strangers, and it's a little bit more intimate. And sometimes that can feel a little bit more nerve-wracking sometimes because there's less of a barrier with people. Because when I feel like I'm on stage and I have a mic and I'm like up here and everybody's down there, I feel like there's a little bit of a wall that I can like stay behind.
For sure, I get that.
Yeah, for sure. So in the listening room, that wall's kind of gone, and that opens up a really wonderful space of just being authentic and communicating on a deeper level. So like when people share their stuff, they can ask questions like, okay, how did that land with you guys? Or, what did you think? I'm looking for some like input on this. What do I name this song, this poem? And then we can like have a conversation about it. And I love asking questions like, what inspired you to write this? Where did this come from? Like, how did you get into this? Because, like, if you don't ask, you'll never know, like, those deeper details. And that's what I love about just conversation in general. And in that kind of creative space, you get to learn so much about people and about yourself. And for a lot of people, it's nerve-wracking to get up in front of people and share something vulnerable, and this is a perfect place to practice with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I started this podcast. This, like I said this to a couple different people on the show, but this podcast is largely for other area like musicians, right? Because like there's not a lot of people that are going to be tuning in that don't have like an inside sort of want to learn more, but it's to build that community of like the music scene and to learn more about the people that you're playing shows with and that you're interacting with within the scene and stuff like that. So I love the idea of being able to just like learn more about somebody by sitting down and having a conversation, as opposed to just like putting your name on a list and you get up and you do your thing and people clap and then you get down, and it's just sort of a thing that most other open mics that I've seen do. But coming from somebody that participates in listening room, it really is like special to sit up there and kind of have that engagement with not just you, but with the other people in the crowd. And they'll ask questions about your whatever it is that you're sharing. And I think maybe I'm wrong in saying this. Maybe this is just my experience, but like I will be the first person to be like, oh, I don't like talking about myself. I do. I love talking about myself. I love talking about creative processes and stuff like that. So like, maybe it's vain, maybe it's whatever, but like, I love when people ask me about like, why do you do what you do? Because it's something that I'm passionate about and I like sharing it. So
Absolutely. And you should. Yeah. It's good. And it's nice to acknowledge ourselves as, creative beings and like all the wonderful things we got going on. And it's like, we don't talk enough about what's going right and like what's going good.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to, get kind of caught up in the drama of what's going wrong. And then we start complaining about, everything is awful. But I think we need to talk more about the things that we're excited about. So this is a great platform to do that. So good job getting this started. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite moments from the listening room so far?
Oh boy.
I've been there for a lot of cool stuff, but as someone who's seen every one of them, what is something that really kind of spoke to you?
Well, this recent one we just had, because I've been wanting to start a new music event called Soundscape, I was looking for some creative advice for this event because I was like, okay, what's the right time to do it? And it's like, it's hard to know what the event looks like until you do it and get the kind of first, like, roll it out and see what works and what hasn't. So it was really cool to ask the crowd at the listening room, okay, I'm going to walk you guys through a little sample of Soundscape and what I'm wanting this to look like. And basically we just like all made like an ah sound and we shared that ah together. And that was really cool. Just hearing everybody's voices come together as one voice was like really cool and profound to me. And it's so primal, dude. It's so like ancient. Like you think about like monks in like a cave somewhere, just like chanting and like even levitating, perhaps. Using vibration and sound, which is so wonderful. So to hear everybody's voice come together in that way, and then like we were doing this like and that was really cool. So that was a really fun moment recently. I'm going to think of some more, but how about you tell me what moment has jumped out to you at the listening rooms as a participant?
Listening room is where I've performed things that I've written the only time I've ever done it. I've never really had an avenue to do that otherwise. I mean, like you said, I could go to, like, Popcorn has open mics every week and stuff like that, but it's just that, like, the feeling of I wouldn't call myself a, like, songwriter, right? I dabble in it, and I like to kind of, like, experiment with it. I am definitely a musician, and I like to do a lot of music things, but I've never really called myself a songwriter. But being able to come in with ideas that are maybe just fledgling things and the same 4 chords over and over again, I can still bring it here and know that I have sort of that sense of community where I can do it and get sort of, even if you're not looking for feedback, even if it's just like, here's a creative thing I did and I want to do it to people and see what they think of it. So that's something that's really special to me about that. Because I play a lot of shows and I do a lot with music, but it's largely other people's music, which is fine. And I like doing it. It's a lot of fun. But being able to kind of bring something that's my own to an audience is very special.
For sure. It's like campfire vibes.
Yes.
It's like sitting around a campfire just without the fire.
Yeah.
And it's indoors. The fire is within our hearts and soul. And that's why I love that vibe. And it's like, even if you like mess up, and I remember the song that you shared last time, that your guitar was out of tune. And I get that frustration, but dude, like no one cared.
Right.
No one cared. No one was judging, and like everybody's rooting for you to win. Right. And there's no like, I don't know, there's no like tension. And to see people share something that isn't perfect, it's not meant to be perfect. It hasn't, maybe they haven't like fixated over it for so long to get it like perfectly curated and shaped and everything. It's just like, just be raw and real. And like, can we celebrate that? And I think that with the way that like the creative world is changing, like with the AI or whatever, like I think celebrating the imperfections of humanity is like where we really need to focus in on. And that's where the magic is, for sure.
I think in 5 years, people are going to be seeking that experience out more and more. They're going to be looking for that authentic sort of human connection more than, because it's going to be harder to find, especially online and stuff like that. You're going to want these local, real gatherings with real people. And yeah, like you said, I get stuck in that way too, of like focusing so hard on like a production value of something. Like even with this podcast, I struggle with like, is this perfect? Is this framing right and stuff like that? And it's just, it's how I am, and it's how, so to have a space where you can bring something that's just like, here's a creative blob and I'm going to share it with people. It's not ready. It's not whatever. It might never do anything besides this room,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Isn't there freedom in that,
Yeah.
though, too? Like, who says that it has to be this, like, finished product?
Right.
And I'm of the mindset of, like, any creative, like, pursuit, it is a pursuit. It's not always about the end product or the package thing, like, oh, here's
Yes.
the thing. Like, yes, that's a part of it, and to have closure with something and to say, okay, it's finished. But, like, some of my paintings, dude, I don't think they'll ever be finished.
Yeah.
Or any of my songs, because they'll continue to evolve as I do. So, like, how can I obsess over the finished product? And it is the pursuit. The pursuit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the best parts about being an artist of any sort, is just like doing the art and forever chasing that better, that more meaningful, that, you know, like, again, better is maybe not a better word, but the more meaning you can find in whatever it is that you're doing, the better, I think.
Absolutely. And how do we do that? How do we find more meaning? And, like, I just thought about, like, how long have you had this thing right here? And how many things has that, like, recorded over time? And you think about the recordings that you captured or whatever, like, in the very early stages. And I have recordings like that I, like, haven't listened to in a long time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if I want to. And I'll record things and never listen to them. But I think, like, 10 years down the road, it'll be like a cool little time capsule.
Yeah, it
to be
definitely.
like,
I have so many projects on here that are recordings I did in 2013 and earlier.
Yeah.
And
oh, gosh.
I am doing a music project. I think I told you about this the last time we did Listening Room, but I'm doing a music project with a couple of friends. We get together and just kind of, like, jam some stuff. And I had brought a riff that it was literally just a guitar riff that I recorded in my bedroom in 2014.
Yes.
And I've kept that one riff because it just sounds so good, and then brought it to them, and we kind of made a whole thing out of it. And it was really like, it just sat there, and I knew eventually I wanted to do something with it, but
it just needed its little window.
yeah,
Like,
so something that was made 10 years ago is now becoming something new and totally different than what I envisioned it in the first place, but I'm a totally different person than I was 10 years ago, so.
yeah, but you can still, like, part of your, like, spirit and soul is, like, in that little riff from that long ago, and then it's coming back, and it's like you're reclaiming it and, like, recycling it into something new. And, like, what a cool thing that is. Yeah. Because, it's a little piece of past you coming into the present. And, I'm sure you've had songs that you wrote back in the day, and then you sing it again, and you're like, oh, I remember exactly what this felt like when I sang it for the first time, when I first wrote it. And what a cool little thing to experience and play with.
It's like deep photographs. They capture a moment in time when you write something, and revisiting it can be just as impactful as looking at old video or photo or whatever.
For sure. Absolutely. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Yeah, I think right now with some of the stuff that I've recorded, it's still too soon. Right now, I'm like, if I look at it now, I feel like I'm going to cringe at it.
Oh, yeah.
You know that feeling? It's like, oh, God. I can't bear to listen to it. But I bet you, like, you know, in a few more years, when I have a little bit more kind of space of growth and, like, I don't know, separation, but I don't know, just, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
How would you explain that feeling?
Like, any time, because I work with, or I don't so much anymore, but I used to work with a lot of kids at the Y when I was doing my esports coaching stuff. And they would kind of, like, I taught a streaming class, so I taught them how to stream and how to make content, like YouTube videos and stuff like that. And a lot of kids came back to me a couple years after that class, and they're like, I look back at those old streams we did, and I'm just like, oh, that's so cringy. Like, I was like 14, and now I'm 17, and I look back, and I tell them, I'm like, you're 17 now, and you look back and you cringe, but I guarantee you when you're 27, you will want those memories. Because, like, I have so many things that I've done artistically and that I deleted because I didn't want the world to see it, and I wish I would have had it. Now, I used to have a song on YouTube that I recorded. It was a metal song song that I recorded when I was like 14 years old.
Yes!
Through like my Line 6 guitar amp and a Rock Band, the microphone that came with Rock Band. I put that up to my Line 6 guitar amplifier and I did my vocals through it too.
Oh my
Straight
gosh.
USB into my family computer. And I recorded a song about how hard it was to work at Burger King. I'm like, do you know what I would do to have that again?
Dude, oh my God.
It's literally just me screaming about how day in, day out, I'm flipping the burgers. And it was like the worst thing ever, but I wish I still had that.
But you know what? You talking about it right now, you still can channel like what that felt like. And even just like reminiscing about the setup like you just did. Like, that's so cool. Do you think you can like bring that song back?
Oh man, I don't know if I even remember all of it was rough though. It was the guitar riff was actually pretty cool. I do kind of remember that, but yeah, the production and the vocals and it was
hey, I bet it sounded pretty epic, you know, because with all of those, like the equipment and everything that you use, it just captured like the quality of that moment.
For sure.
Like, you're just like, oh, Burger King sucks.
I hated it so much. I had to break out my Rock Band microphone and
and like the distortion or whatever of that quality microphone probably just added to the experience. Oh my God. Yeah. But maybe it's out in the clouds somewhere. Who knows?
I've tried looking at like the Wayback Machine to see it because I had it up on YouTube and I was like, I wish, and I can't find it anywhere. But
shoot.
I have a lot of things like that I got rid of when I was because I was ashamed of it or whatever. Or it wasn't like up to my standard or I cringed at it. And now like I wish more than anything I had those memories because I don't have them anymore.
It's interesting, man, because it's like it's a relatively new thing to be able to like document these moments and like put them on YouTube or, you know, on some digital file to be able to go back to them and like relive that time. And like having that history kind of like showcased on this platform can be a little daunting sometimes because you're like, oh man, if it's out there, it's out there. And so when you come up on something that you did and you're like, oh my God, so cringy. It's like initial like feeling is just to delete it or archive it or get it out of there before any more people see it. Quick.
Yep.
But what if we just like leaned into that a little bit more?
Yeah.
I think I'm doing that more now as an adult because like back in like, what was it, like 2020, 2021, I was really creatively stimulated to like the max. Okay. So basically I was in like a, you know, point of my life where I was very defeated and very like low energy and kind of felt like I was caged in a lot of ways. And so like I made a decision to leave that cage basically. And so when I came out of that, I felt so liberated and free and like, I can do anything. I'm going to build a sculpture of a bottlenose dolphin out of water bottles.
Sure.
Like I was determined to like do crazy stuff like that. I had more creative like inspiration than I had in a long time. So I was making some really interesting music videos.
Okay. Yeah.
And just and I look back at it now and I was like, wow, okay, this is like unfiltered Sam. And like, that's kind of scary. I was like, oh man, do I really want to be that unfiltered? Because at the time I was like, I'm free. I can like express all of this. And like, how cool is this? And I didn't really give a crap about like what anybody was commenting or thinking or whatever. What I realized is that I was dealing with a lot of stuff and trying to like sweep it under the rug by like kind of playing this part or this character of like, oh, everything's great. Everything's happy-go-lucky, rainbows and butterflies, and kind of like that spiritual bypassing that you hear about. Like I started meditating and I would just like sit outside for hours, just like blazed. and I was like, oh, I'm so like spiritual.
Yeah.
I have no problems and like kill the ego, like all this stuff. And so I was definitely sweeping a lot under the rug. And then once I kind of started to mature out of that and like realize, okay, Unfiltered Sam was like trying to, I don't know, play this character, and I was just kind of hiding a lot at the same time. So it was really interesting. It was like a creative liberation and like, but then like,
Yeah.
no, avoiding. And I think maybe it was because I was avoiding things, I was like pushing so much energy into another space. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that I've matured and kind of evolved out of that chapter of my life, looking back at that now, I'm like, oh girl, oh girl, you're going through so much, aren't you, honey?
Yeah.
You know? And so I get to like see it from a different lens now. And I'm trying to replace that cringiness with like, oh, I love you.
Yeah.
You're doing okay.
Yep.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's hard to like make the decision to love yourself at every step of your journey.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Oh my gosh. Especially when you see it in such detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can really like get down and like, oh my God, I chose the wrong word there. Like, what am I wearing?
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yep.
how do you feel about, looking back at your past things and trying to have that kind of compassion and like love for yourself in that part of your journey then and like where you are now?
Yeah, I've done a ton of different things, a lot of different, especially like creative endeavors that I've put out into the world. I've always sort of been a performer ever since I was a kid. I was like kind of class clown, like, always that sort of kid. And yeah, we look at like, we did a series of videos when I was like, I think 9, me and my older sister. So she's 14 at the time, where we were hanging out with our neighbor kids on our street.
The best.
And we were like skateboarding, and like we did these like comedy show skit things. We just had like a little camcorder and we were filming all this. And I remember looking at it when I was a teenager and like thinking like, I want to burn this. If
Get
this,
rid of the evidence.
Yeah, if this gets out, like my whole life is ruined and my social cred is in the toilet.
Oh my God.
And my sister had just recently found those tapes because she was in contact with our old neighbor, and she sent it like over some clips on Snapchat of like and I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. So definitely like, yeah, there's been so many moments where I have seen things that I did a couple years ago and I was like, I don't like that. I wish I never did that. And then trying to like do the new thing to, this is me now, and this is me now, this is me now. But it was all me, and it's all things that led me to where I am now, and to like stop and appreciate that and really take stock of like everything I did led up to who I am now, and I like who I am now. So
yes, sir.
it was all part of the process. There was nothing I did that was bad. There was only I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done bad stuff, but like there's nothing I did that wasn't worthwhile.
For sure. Because it's the pursuit.
Yes.
It's the pursuit. But I resonated with what you said. Like, I want to be like, I want people to know me as I am right now. And like with the history of like our phases being like shown, it's like, oh, I don't want people to think that's who I am anymore, because I've obviously changed and evolved. So how can I like prove to everybody else and myself that I'm a different person now than I was back then? But like all of those stages has brought me to where I am now, and appreciating all those phases too.
Yeah, because me 2 years ago was saying, this is me now. I want people to know me as this.
Yeah.
Me, if you look at me from 2018, I was trying to be a video game streamer. That's my whole thing. I was online playing Fortnite every day to Twitch, making stuff for my channel, emotes and everything like that. That was who I was. Now I haven't been on Twitch in 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't even think about it anymore. Like I'll revisit, the memories, and I'll talk with people I knew back then and stuff, but like it's not something I concern myself with.
things
But right
change.
now, everyone should know that Trevor does a podcast, and this is Trevor right now.
This is Trevor right now. What's the date? The 17th of December at 2 o'clock.
So
this is you right now.
I hope Trevor in 2030 will look at these podcast episodes and be like, that was really cool that you did that.
For sure. It is.
Yeah.
And like, oh, how much easier it would be if we just were like, yeah, man, that was cool at the time.
Yeah.
Here I am now. But what is it that like this like sense of identity that just kind of piggybacks off of our creative endeavors? You know, like I was riddled with the question, who would I be if I wasn't a musician?
Yeah.
You know, because I started when I was 15, so it's been 10 years now. And so your identity gets so like interwoven with this thing, whether it's your job or the thing that you want to try to do, being a gamer or whatever. And then you funnel so much like energy and time and resources, money into this identity. And then you're like, oh God, am I sure about this?
Yeah. That one moment where it hits where you, like, the first time you think about, like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And it's like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I can't let it go.
Yeah.
And that's what's really what's really weird. I think in our culture we're kind of told to like find one career and like stick with it. I think that's like starting to like wither away now.
I think so
though,
too, yeah.
Which is really cool. But I think people are still like, okay, but what does that mean? Like I can do a bunch of different things and like to make money I can like do things that I like, and sure there might be some like chores and like things that I don't really like doing, but like I'm of the mindset of like I would rather have like a lot of little things than like one main thing, because I work at a cafe, I teach some pottery classes, I do lessons, I do shows, and like I kind of
Your taxes must be a nightmare.
don't even talk about them. Don't even talk about them. Well, that's the thing. It's like, even though it's not as simple, I've been able to like adapt and figure that out. But if I zoom out, I'm like, what is the one thing? Like, what is the kind of all-encompassing like North Star, I guess you could say. And that's just definitely like, how can I use these creative tools to know myself more?
Yeah.
And to just use them as tools of self expression, but also self-reflection. And when you're painting, it's like, this is my brain and my feelings like on paper, like looking back at me. You know, when you create a song, like that's your voice singing to you. Like it's really cool. And I want more people to have access to those things without so much of a barrier, like, oh, I gotta be perfect at it right away.
Yeah.
So like I'm wanting to like encourage people to celebrate the humanness of it. Like, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird at times. But that's what's so cool about it. But yeah, why rely on one thing as your like the one thing? I feel like that's just kind of a trap to be bored and then just like end up suffering
For sure.
for your life because this is my identity. And how do you break out of something that you're like rely so much on, you know?
Yeah. I know too many people that have done the one thing for their whole life, and they want nothing more than like, oh, I wish I could have done something. So yeah, I do have sort of the like, and it's totally different. I was thinking of this as we were talking, but like if you'd have told 2015 Trevor, right, that you'd be living in La Crosse as the marketing coordinator for the YMCA and hosting podcasts from your own media company, I've been like, how did that happen? What do you mean?
Right.
Like, no, I got my degree in audio engineering. I'm gonna record music for a living. How do I'm doing marketing? That doesn't make any sense, because it just like I have no idea what my life looks like 10 years from now.
Right.
And nobody does. No. Like, so it just kind of take that and know that anything can happen, anything can whatever, and open yourself up to as many possibilities as you can, because just enjoy the ride as much as you can.
Absolutely. And like roll with it. And I feel like there's this like kind of false sense of security that comes with like choosing the one thing and sticking with it and thinking that that's going to keep you safe and happy and supported. But that's not really true. It's more like a cage.
Yeah.
In my opinion
Yeah.
and my lifestyle, I guess. But I'm glad it's changing. So
Yeah.
people seem to be prioritizing their creative pursuits more and figuring out a way that they can live sustainably in whatever way works for them. And I just had this like adult epiphany. I'm like, everybody's trying to make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's trying to like support themselves and make a living. And I feel like I've tried to, I don't know, avoid that responsibility. And like, I don't want to be money motivated. But like, now I'm sitting here like, I wish I had some more.
Yeah. Right.
But how can you balance that and live within your means and live a sustainable life? And that's something that I'm really loving with just the idea of sustainability, with all the like art materials that go to waste. And like, that's why we're wanting to start a thrift store here, because like there's so much materials that we could like be making cool stuff with. But like our initial like, if I want to make this, I got to go to the, big box stores and like get what I need. But if like, I love scavenging for stuff to make projects. And when I find something that fits perfectly, it's the most amazing feeling that I'm like, wow, it's so cool. It's like a big puzzle piece using like reclaimed and recycled materials because, I love the environment and to think about all the things that are just getting thrown out and like the fast fashion and everything. And like, let's get back to making our own clothes and like thrifting to the max, bro. To the max. Flipping furniture. And like most of the things nowadays, it's like, I find the older stuff has more quality, like it's built
For sure.
better.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
this table is not, this is not an old model. This is like an IKEA or Amazon type of thing. And like, when I find like chairs like even this, sure, they can be a little creaky and rickety, but dang. Nothing like a good solid structure that was made in the olden days. That there was actual craftsmanship, like because you feel the craftsmanship
For
like
sure.
in things when like whether it be an art piece or a song, and that going back to that human creative like juice that's in something. Like, wow, this took somebody time and effort, and then like that's the value of it, and like we need to get back to that.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been great, and I feel like we could talk for hours and hours.
For sure. Easy.
But to wrap up, if somebody wanted to learn, because you do, again, there's the listening room, you teach lessons, you are looking into expanding programming going forward. If somebody wants to learn more about you and kind of keep up with what you're doing, where could somebody do that?
Wow. Well, you could go to Instagram. I post some things here and there. And that's at Band of Being. And then I also have a website. I like to put more of my energy into the website because I get a little bit more distracted if I go on the gram.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, I go to post something, and then here I am consuming and scrolling.
Yes.
So if you want some more in-depth quality content, definitely the website, bandofbeing.com. And in terms of scheduling and getting a hold of me, my email is on the website. And then we can book sessions, lessons, all sorts of goodies that way through the email. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then I always like to end it with a full open mic. Anything you'd like to say, anything you'd like to comment on, whatever your heart desires, let it go. I've had a variety of responses to this, so don't feel held back by anything.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. The mic is open.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to acknowledge, like, how cool this is, the podcast realm that's being built. It's so cool. Just like listening to people having conversations and learning something and getting to see a glimpse into people a little deeper without having to like schedule a meeting with them, you know? Because people have learned a little bit about both you and I just by tuning into this, which is so cool. I love a good conversation. So good. And that's what I love to do, you know, not just like with singing, like with the like vocal lessons. Like it's not just about how can you sing in a way that feels, you know, yada yada. It's like how can you really like tune into what your voice feels like? How can you use it as a tool to move towards sound health? Yes. And you know, a lot of people don't like the sound of their own voice. So like hey, come on. And you do a podcast. This is a great opportunity.
Oh no, my speaking voice is fine. It's the singing voice that I don't like.
Well, you know, it just takes a little practice. I get you though. It's a vulnerable thing. It's built in. It's an instrument that we can't really like swap out with another one. So that's what I want to like help people with is just like embrace your voice, because a lot of people stop before they even start or try. And like I can't imagine like being in a car with a bunch of my friends and singing a song but feeling like I need to like close off and shut myself down because I am afraid of not sounding good. Like that sucks.
It does.
That sucks.
It does.
So like why not just you know, build this vocal lesson, you know, format that's like let's just experience the voice and like be curious instead of like hypercritical about it, because it's not about being perfect. Like we said, like how can we love the humanness, the imperfections and all of that, and it's a muscle like anything else, and it's something that I think everybody should have access to. Same with like dancing, like same with art. It's like none of it needs to make sense to anybody else. No. So it's like, why does singing have this like, there's only one way of perfection and it needs to sound on pitch or whatever. And some of the vocal warm-ups that we do some really weird noises, man. We make some really weird faces. We talk in accents, so I'm like, okay, now sing that in a country accent. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I just learned something different about my voice. Wow. And so the exploration is so fun. And I never thought that I'd be a vocal teacher either. I started with just doing like guitar lessons for kids, and I would go to their houses and we would practice. But then I had this one amazing student, and she and I were writing songs together to teach her guitar, because then she was a part of the experience. Like, okay, we're gonna use these chords and we're gonna write a song to it. And she was a part of the creative process and making the lyrics and the story and everything. And it got her to sing more, which wasn't the initial, like, you know, purpose of these lessons. It was for guitar. But her parents were super surprised. Like, she started singing. Like, she's singing around the house and singing the songs that she wrote. And, like, how freaking sweet is that? And when I started coming here, I was like, yeah, I'll teach like guitar and like beginner piano, and I taught myself, so I'm like very like novice. I'm like, I'll teach you the basics. I'll teach you what I know. But more people are just interested in vocal, and like that became like the most high ticket or high, you know, the desirable one. So I'm like, that makes sense, because that's been what I've been mastering for so many years. So I don't know why I didn't kind of think about that in the first place, but it was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this. I feel confident in this space. So it's been really cool, and I love using my voice. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share it through this platform.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on. It's been fantastic.
Yes. Nice. I'm glad we got to go a little deeper.
Yes.